And now, a little bit of a different setup, something different, and there's a certain saying from Monty Python's Flying Circus. And now for something completely different. Roll the intro. What is up, friends, family, salutations, and all that wonderful stuff? Good to see each and every single one of you. And it's a little bit of a different setup because, quite honestly, I have a little bit of a now temporary setup because I'm jumping on you with my actual laptop. I don't have anything on the other side. I have my phone with me here, so I'm not doing any food review, anything. In fact, it's a little bit of a different setup for us here because now that I have a second monitor and I have some other goofball stuff that I can work with, for the first time here, I'm going to do my first ever tier list here on this episode here. And I'm going to start doing a little bit more of that stuff. And as always, if you ever see and ever get a chance to check any of the stuff on, you've watched all the hockey content, Gen X stuff, all the other stuff, there's that thing called subscribe button. Definitely hit that if you want to be alerted for new stuff that comes out. And as always, check that stuff out. Chuck a like, do a comment, all that wonderful YouTube stuff. And as always, we appreciate you. And I'm excited because I'm holding on, wearing the Robo Penguin Reverse Retro, because this is going to be my first tier list here on this channel. And hopefully I do well enough that we might be doing a little bit more stuff. So it's a little innovation here on the channel. Because if I, in fact, do something of the sort such as this thing right here and this thing right here, I will get a chance to do my first tier list. And for me to get my feet wet and get my thoughts together and, do something straightforward. I've seen many people do their stuff on YouTube and Instagram and all this stuff, doing different tier lists and everything like that. I'm going to start real easy, and I'll start doing that by doing the 2023 Reverse Retro line. And I think that was a great big line. That was one of Adidas's big things that they went through. And everyone knows Fanatics is going to take over in the 2024 season. But to get me started, I'm going to go ahead and do my first tier list here, and we'll go to work right now. See, this will get me started now. This is not necessarily, if I look at this, it's not really in total abbreviation thing, but we're going to go and do my tier list for the 23 Reverse Retros that came out. This will be the 2.0 version. So I'll start out here with the Anaheim Ducks, and I'm going to actually put the Anaheim Ducks, the white jersey down here with the diagonal. I'm going to put that in A tier. Really, really like that jersey. It's a clean jersey, not nothing too crazy. I think I would put that in S tier if it did have the oval Mighty Duck oval shield on it. Sometimes you don't want to put too much on a jersey. However, definitely like that jersey. It's a very clean jersey. I'll put it in A tier. And there is also a thing going that they will most likely go back to that logo coming up next year. That's the rumor that I'm hearing. I'm going to put the Arizona Coyotes. I'm going to put them also in A tier. Both that and the purple one the first time around did really, really well. And anything you see Arizona is going to be pretty much a relic. So I think people are going to jump on anything Arizona since we're going to have a team in Utah coming up. I'm going to throw the Buffalo Sabres. I'm going to try to see if I can go through this pretty quickly, but because this is my first time, but I'll try to be fluent. I'm going to put them in A tier as well, just because you cannot go wrong with the goat head. You can't go wrong. Here they're keeping that for the next year coming up. So I can't go wrong you can never go wrong with the goat head. Let's just keep on going in here. I'm going to put the pedestal jersey for Calgary. I'm going to put them in B tier. The pedestal jersey was in fact a good piece of their history. I don't want to hear anything too about this little line. I mean, it's hard for me to put that up there, but it's hard to put that little line up there, that little hem, that what they usually like to put up with. I'm not really crazy. It doesn't really affect me much. I'm going to put the Carolina Hurricanes. I'm going to put them in C tier just because the only thing they really did was pretty much just change the road jersey to red. That was their reverse retro. The other thing is their history, even with the Reebok era, and even the CCM to the Reebok era, wasn't a whole heck of a lot of change. Just like the pinstripe little thing on the sides of how Reebok did their Edge jerseys and everything like that. Not a whole heck of a lot of change. There's a Sharp jersey, just wasn't a lot of this. Didn't do a whole heck of a lot. And let's keep moving on. I'm going to tip the Colorado Avalanche. That's the pretty much off the Colorado State flag. I'll just put them in B tier because they didn't do anything major of their reverse retro this time around. But it's a sharp looking white jersey. The sleeves, the stripes on the sleeves is very, very nice. The number font, they kept that going on. Still, I think the reverse retro 1.0 with the Nordique. I think that was the best reverse retro of all of them. Probably do a tier one down the road with that. I'm going to put the Columbus Blue Jackets. I'm going to have to put them in D tier. I have them in meh, the D tier down here. It's a sharp jersey. It's just they did it in black. There was just nothing really to them. I don't think they. I think there was just better options for them, like the Stinger head and the CBJ logo. There was options there, and they just went to this logo. I don't understand why. But this guy's gonna have some company because I'm gonna put Detroit next to them. And I know this was a Detroit Cougars deal back in the early days, but Detroit, they're never gonna really change. They're never gonna really change their jerseys that much. They're gonna have a new one for the the Stadium Series. They're playing Columbus, and hopefully they have something they can throw at us for that. But it's okay, but it's nothing crazy, and they didn't really put a whole heck of a lot of effort into it because I mean it is nostalgic a little bit. I am going to put the Edmonton Oilers. I'm going to put the COG jersey. I'll put it in B tier. It's pretty much a middle of the class jersey. Did very well with it. They're not going to have a third jersey from what I'm told. So the total jersey's gone. I think this jersey should be a third jersey. Absolutely. Kind of a thing where you should have something that has an identity to it. The COG jersey was a part of their history, hands down. And now I'm going to go to this little stretch the way this is going down here. This is a no-brainer. The Florida Panthers with the baby blue that was back in the Reebok era. That's hands down. That's tier. That's at S tier. That was a well run jersey, well designed. Even the first one with the leaping cat did very well, but this was a fantastic jersey, hands down. And it's going to have some company because I'm going to put the LA King jersey with the 70s 80s crown. That's going in S tier as well. Even the first one that they had with the 90s logo on the purple. It was fantastic. LA hit both of their reverse retros out of the park, and the rumors going they may go back to that 90s logo coming up in the next year coming up. You're not getting me alone because I'm going to put the Minnesota Wild. It's going to go right next to it. That's the North Stars colors, and the only difference pretty much is the way did the white one this year and 2 years ago. And they do the green one this year, and the green one is now officially their third jersey because they got the state of Minnesota patch on them on the side, and it's a sharp-looking jersey. I will put the Montreal Canadiens. We're going to put them in B tier. I really wish Montreal would have like a third jersey, whether it would be the blue one that they did the first time around in the reverse retro, or even this one. This is the Expos colors. So this was a good change for them. Although I wore them a handful of times, but it was a good jersey to have. I really liked it, and it's pretty much it's right in the middle of the class. I'm not sure how I feel about this. And actually, I was debating on C or D. I'm putting Nashville. I'm actually going to put Nashville. You know what? I'll put them in C. This jersey with the actual cat on it. Quite honestly, you only had two options, either yellow or white, because the original one that they did was black, or excuse me, blue, and you just need another yellow jersey. I think that's just the character of the beast that is Nashville. Let's do the New Jersey Devils. They're bringing the Colorado Rockies / Kansas City Scouts colors back in those days. I'll put them in the middle. I'll put them in B tier. They have a history of this colors, and the outfit actually did fairly well too, and the merchandise did really well for that one as well. Let's do the Chicago Blackhawks, and I don't mind the jersey, but it's just bringing back to around the 1920s, 1930s era. But not very people like that word mark era. I'll put it in D. It was okay. But Chicago's has a lot of history and a lot of jersey history too. Some people like some of the stuff, some people don't. It is what it is. Okay, and now I'll go to Boston. Everyone has their issues with the Pooh Bear and with the saw blade logo or pattern on the bottom. I'll put it in B tier. I mean, Boston stuff, Boston, New England, they love their jerseys, no matter if they're bad or good. They always jump on it. There's hands down, everyone's always liking Boston stuff. I will put the Islanders. I'm going to put them in the A tier because people were really wanting the Islanders jersey, but they wanted the fisherman back. I would put that in an S tier if it had the wavy pattern on the bottom. And I'm hearing this stuff about the one hem on the bottom, near the mid torso, and that doesn't bother me that much. Some people don't like it, some people do. Where the heck am I? Oh, you know what? I'm just going to put the Rangers. I'll put them in A as well because, Ranger fans, hardcore Ranger fans, they've always liked the Statue of Liberty ad. That one and the darker blue one, which was the first one, they both did really well. Can't go wrong. Can never go wrong with that. I'm going to put the Ottawa Senators in C, in a C tier, just because because their home jersey is pretty much really close to this one. It brought back the late '90s, early 2000s look. It was red at the time. I would probably make this a little higher, but they did put the old font on it the way they had it back in the day, and that's why I didn't mind this jersey at all. Really, I think it would be better if it was on white, but that's what they chose. The Flyers, we're just going to put this in C tier. It was nothing really crazy. It was just an inverted color from like the '90s days. Um, Really nothing majorly crazy about it. I mean, it was okay. Nothing clean. It was a clean jersey. And I am not necessarily going to try to be biased, but we're going to put the Robo Penguin. It's going to be S tier. It was one of the best ones, hands down. A lot of people, a lot of content people in hockey, high praises on Robo Penguin, one of the best decisions they ever did. It was either going to be this or it was going to be the hologram jersey with the gray shoulders and the hologram logo in the middle. That was my favorite jersey, probably one of my top three of Penguins history, and I hope they bring it back someday. Uh, Hands down, that's S tier, no without a doubt. This might be a little bit questionable, but I'm going to put the Sharks up here in A tier because they went back to this California Golden Seals and they used that really shiny teal instead of the forest green that they did back in the day. It was a good little homage to the old Seals days. Wish you could see them back in the day someday, but come back someday. But this was a good homage for them. They're not really a great team right now, but this was a good throwback to them. We're gonna go with the next one, and that is the Kraken. I'm gonna put them in. I'm thinking B tier because there's a rumor going there's going to be a third jersey next year with the Anchor logo on the front, but I don't know what's going to be. But this one right here brought back the old Ironman from the 1950s, and it was a good jersey. I liked it. I even liked I think their Winter Classic was the best Winter Classic jersey, one of the best ones. But they did a nice attempt to that one. Some people weren't crazy about it, but they got to wear that out. We'll put it in B tier. I am going to put the Dallas Stars in S tier. I love the stripes on the arms. That was an old homage to when they started playing down in Dallas. And you're using the victory green with the colors today. That was miles ahead of what they had the first time around. That all white one with the star design on the bottom, but it was an all white jersey and it was an all white uniform. It did not sell at all. I mean, this one up here, that one was miles ahead of what they used to do. I'm glad they did what they did. I'm going to put the St. Louis Blues, this yellow jersey. It's going to go in C tier. This was a prototype before they went to their the logo that they decided to do. Just a different outlook. And of course, they don't really want to become Nashville, but this was a reverse retro in a way, and that was a prototype. So I won't make it in D. We'll just keep it in C for the time being. I can't go wrong with Tampa when you've got the lightning bolts and you've got the waves on the bottom. That is definitely going to be S tier. The old logo is what set it off for me, hands down. Can't go wrong with what they did in that one. I will put the Toronto Maple Leafs. I was debating B or C, but Toronto has always been, some people didn't like the first one. This one's actually not terrible, and I'll be nice. I'll put it in B tier. It is basically just a throwback from another era that they had, and they used one of the older logos on them. So I'll keep that in there. I'll be nice on this one. But I'm definitely going to put Vancouver. Vancouver's going to go in the A tier. I'm actually a fan of the Johnny Canuck. I really don't mind it from the old WHL days. But the number on the shoulder stands out. They still kept the colors today. And the font in the back, then the number on the back, huge. They're just massive on the nameplate and on the numbers in the back. That's what stood out for me in this one. I mean, some people don't like. I actually didn't mind it, and that'll go in A tier. Let's see what we got. We got Vegas, and I'm going to put Vegas in B tier. I mean, I could put it in A. You could put A and B if you want. I'll actually let's just keep it in B. It was a fantastic jersey with the Excalibur font with the Vegas on it, and the number font in the back of it was a Stardust, a font. In case people did not know that, or where the number was, and plus it glowed in the dark. It glowed in the dark. You can't get ever go wrong with something that glows in the dark. Vegas did really well on that one. I think their first one was also nice as well. Now, anybody in the Metro division, everybody in the Metro hates each other, but you can't go wrong with the Screaming Eagle from the Washington Capitals. I will put them in S tier. Their first one on red was fire, hands down. And then on black, I think it was even better, no doubt about it. I don't even have to argue about this one. And then there's the last one. There's the Winnipeg Jets. I'm going to put them in B tier as well. This was a clean jersey. Brought back one of the old 90s logos on it. Didn't have to put any patches on them. Kept the jet blue. And just a very, very clean jersey. And it just went along with the reverse retro setup. Just today's colors with that setup on it. And it was a nice, clean white jersey. Nothing crazy about it. And you know what? That is actually not too bad for a first time. That's actually not bad. I'm totally down with it. And I know darn well I will do this tier probably 15, 20 minutes from now, and will probably be different. And that's the thing with collectors on today. So I know this is not a bad start for me. I actually had fun doing this, and I'll definitely do more stuff on it. But I know everybody's list is definitely going to be different. And I'll just ask, what's your favorite? What was your favorite like that? Do you wish one of those would be something like a third jersey down the road? Put your comments in. Put a like. Put a comment in. Which one was your favorite at the time? I mean, we're probably not going to know if they're going to ever do reverse retros again with Fanatics taking over next year. We're hearing it's probably not going to happen. Maybe the year after. I don't know. But for collectors, you got to keep your eyes on a lot of these things that are happening, and especially what Utah's going to be. So, guys, I'm glad you guys got to hang out and see my first tier list. And what was your favorite? If you did a tier list thing on for yourself, what would you do? Where would you mix anything on my list? Everybody would have their own version of that. What would you think? Give me your comments and everything like that as well as we're winding down this season and all that. And until then, I'm glad you got a chance to hang out with me. You got to the end of this video, my first tier list. I do appreciate you. There is that subscribe button, definitely. So do me a favor. You give it a chance to continue to watch our content, continue to watch our stuff as we always do. And by the way, before you head out, hit that subscribe button so I can definitely see you bloody legends back here in the next one.